All right, boys, how are we doing? Going to give a couple minutes here. A few people just registered at the last minute before I actually start this presentation and go over everything. But welcome, everybody. Zach, what's good? I see you in the chat. I'm going to go over everything in this presentation. Like I've said, like I promoted on my stories, everything that's made me almost $2 million at just 20 years old now, which is my sports content business. And the reason I wanted to do this, a free live class for you guys, is because sports content, it's probably not a business you've ever heard of, right? So you haven't heard of it. You've seen, stuff I've done online, maybe a couple other people, because there's not that many people doing this, but you probably don't understand how it works. So I wanted to give a full presentation breaking down exactly how the business works, how we get paid, my story, how I got to 10K a month, then to 100K a month, basically everything you need to know. So I'm just going to get right into it, guys. People are going to be joining in here in the next few minutes, but let me pull this up for you guys. I got to share my screen. One second here. Also, if you guys could type in the chat, can you guys hear me? I want to make sure my mic's okay. All right. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Good? All right, dope. All right, so this is it right here, guys. Let me go all the way to the front for you. Sorry about that. Turn on this presentation. So, hey, guys, like I said, all I want you guys to do is pay attention. I'm going to break down everything for you guys in the next probably 30, 45 minutes. And then at the end, if you guys are confused about anything, I'm going to be answering all questions. So you could type them in the chat. But like I said, I'll go over everything that you need to know. So how to make your first 10 to 20K a month as a sports content creator, and then obviously scale from then on. You want to hit that 10, 20K a month first, but I've scaled to over 100K a month. So there's definitely a ton of upside on this business, which is what makes it appealing. But like I said, before we jump in, guys, put your phone away, get on a notepad, and get ready to learn. Basically, you've never heard this information before, only going to go over it once. So it's important you guys pay a lot of attention so, you understand how this business model works. First, what I'm about to show you is made me millions of dollars, exactly about 1.8 million in the last exactly 3 years now. I've done this business, and the worst case scenario, you can make thousands of dollars from it. It's the same with any business, right? You can, you could open an e-commerce store and you might make 10K a month, or you might turn into Amazon. But, my goal is to make you guys as rich as possible from this business. But worst case scenario, you're going to be able to make thousands of dollars from this business and churn a profit. So this was me, guys, 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago now. This normal high school kid. I don't know what this bit is. Whatever it is, this is not ideal. This is not good, right? Like, just normal high school kid. I'll go through the actual details of my story here in a second, but basically I hated life. I didn't have any money, probably in a similar position to some of you guys right now, whether you're only in high school or whether you're older, right? Feel like you have nothing going for you, have ambition, but nothing's working, right? You haven't even tried anything. Just a rough state of my life about 3 years ago. And then fast forward to now, I'm living the life of my dreams, got the supercar, the cool crib, blah, blah, blah. You guys have already seen all that on my socials, but it really has changed my life. So this was the start, like I was saying, whatever, 13 years old, 11 years old, 17 years old. I always had dreams, like a lot of you do. I think a lot of successful people, if not all successful people, have this, right? They have that thought in their head that constantly reoccurs, like that they know they're going to be rich. It's just they don't know how. Like, you have those visions in your mind. But that's what I had. I was super ambitious. I didn't want to be a slave to the system. I didn't want to be a slave to the school system, the educational system, the job market, all that stuff, and just, kind of live, pay your taxes, and die like most people in America do. But I had no clue. So this was my first entrepreneurial journey. It's actually a pretty funny story. So I was always a degenerate sports bettor when I was too young. Like, I'm not going to go through the details just in case I post this on YouTube. But yeah, basically I would, or someone with my similar name would place bets when I was young, right? And that was my lifestyle. I would come home from school. My grades were terrible because, like I said, I wanted to do something bigger. So I didn't really take school seriously. I just didn't have any, actual vehicle to start making money. So my parents were yelling at me, all that stuff. But basically, I was a sports bettor. So one of my friends actually dared me to start making a sports account and start posting sports content because we bet so much. So basically, I grinded my ass off on this page. The reason this is on the right here is because it's just an example of how horrible my graphics were. But I grinded my ass off on this page. It was called Rocket Sports Betting. And I finally made 2K in a month, which is actually a lot from selling picks. It took me like 3 or 4 months to get there, but I finally got there. And as soon as I did, my dad wanted me to shut it down because I was too young to gamble, all this stuff. And obviously, I didn't listen. But then after that, this is where everything changed for me. I started my current business, Fantasy Football Rocket. This is my Instagram page. I'm sure you guys have seen that. I also have TikTok, YouTube, whatever, every social. But this is the brand I'm actually under now. I started this in March of 2023, and right now we are sitting right at the start of 2026. So it really has been like 3 years. But I found a program that changed everything for me. I found an ad on my Instagram feed, and it was literally just a guy who was successful, Lamborghini, with sports content, that, you know, he was successful with this exact business I'm doing now. And I was like, okay, I always thought courses were a scam. I always thought, you know, mentorships were a scam, but like I was fed up with my situation. I'd finally made like 2 grand from my last page, Rocket Sports Betting. I'd saved up money from my part-time jobs, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend all my money on this. It cost me 3K, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least I tried, right? So I spent 3,000 of my $4,000 on this program, and that changed everything for me. I grinded content, 4 videos a day to be exact, like you guys have probably seen in my YouTube videos for 6 months, 9 months. And then actually after those 6 months is when my page started to get views. Those first 3 to 6 months, I really didn't do anything. Like I was posting 4 videos a day, but I didn't get any traction. And then after that, everything went crazy. And yeah, like I said, I was excited for the opportunity. But before I could go all in, I had 1 month left of high school. So this was basically the summer I was supposed to be committing to a college and going to a college, right? Because it's after senior year. So I had no time left. I was right at the brink of going to some university and hating my life. But luckily it worked out just in time. So from my new business, March when I started of 2023 to June, I was making 2 to 4K a month. Like I said, I really wasn't getting any views. And even though 2 to 4K a month for a business you just started may sound all right, it is, right? But I just spent $3,000 on this course. So it's like I'm kind of broke even. I made a little bit. I want to make more than 1K a month, right? But once I hit that 4K a month, I was so confident in myself that I was going to make this thing work. And even though it wasn't that much money, I was still feeling good. I was making a few grand a month, right? Like as a high school kid, that's a lot of money. That's the most money I'd made in my life. So I bought my Jaguar F-Type right here, and this was a key point in my life as well. I'll go over why this was so important. But this beautiful car right here, I wish I never sold it. Now I have a McLaren. It's a little bit nicer, but I still wish I had this thing. But yeah, I bought a 40K car. Obviously, I didn't have $40,000. I financed it. I put like 5K down, which was like all the money I had at the time from this business. And they gave me a ridiculous APR. For any of you guys who know about cars, it was like a 20% APR. That's interest rate. And it's supposed to be like 6 to 7%. So like I was getting scammed. I was paying like $900 a month for a 40K car, but I was happy because I had it. But the reason this changed everything for me is because it made me feel rich. Now, even though this is outside of the topic of the sports content business, in this presentation, I'm going to go over things that made me successful, not just exactly how to build a sports content business, also things that you can use whether you start sports content, whether you start day trading, whether you start a business, whether you work a 9 to 5, things that can help you in everyday life, right? And one of the things I'm really high on is spending money on things that are going to basically up your vibration, up your persona. This shifted my mindset because every time I sat in this car, I felt rich. Every time I drove this car around, I felt like a G. I felt like I could see the future through this car because even though I was spending all my money on it, I was moving like someone who was making more money than me. Don't go blow your life savings. Don't be an idiot. But if you have money, don't be one of those guys that lives in scarcity and saves it all. Spend it on things that are going to make you feel better because that shows to you, to the universe, that you're confident in yourself. And I promise you, more and more will come back. So finished high school, graduated. Shout out to my grandpa right here. And like I said, my life at home was not good. Once I bought the Jaguar, my parents, like turned the notch down a little bit because I was making a little money, but you can't live on 2 grand a month, right? So my parents freaked out when I told them I didn't want to go to college because it was a must. Like my family, like a lot of you guys probably, had to deal with is like they 100% wanted me to go to college. My college worked well for my dad. My mom didn't go to college, and that's one of the reasons she really wanted me to go. So like my family was 100% get good grades, go to college. My dad was very strict. So when they heard this, it was constant battles, you know, in the household of them yelling at me not agreeing, all that stuff. It was brutal my last couple of years of high school until I made this work out. But barely graduated with horrible grades. Literally, like I barely graduated. If I tried, I'm confident in myself. I could have got really good grades, but I just did the bare minimum. And then I enjoyed my summer of freedom. This is when everything changed. This is when I went all in on my business. This is my page now. I actually have 165K followers just from like a month or two ago. But I grinded content, like I said, guys, 4 videos a day for 5 months like clockwork. Went from 0 to 75K followers in that span. First 3 months was damn near nothing, like maybe 2 or 3K. And then that 2-month run, I went from 0 to 75K. And that changed everything because we'll get into it later on in this presentation, guys. But you'll see how important each follower is in this business and how much money you can make from each follower. So if you have a growth spurt like that with your page with viral content, like which is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do, then it's a ridiculous amount of money. So this is the first time I ever had real money online. I quit my part-time jobs because I was going up and up and up with my income. And then after those 6 months, or excuse me, sorry guys, I'm a little sick, but after those 5 months of grinding, these were the next 5 months. And this is when my first football season started. And this is when everything changed. This is when I got to, you know, ridiculous sums of money. July and August that summer. Sorry guys, but July and August that summer, those were my first 10K months. So obviously you guys probably have it in your head. I had it in my head. The crazy number you always want to hit is 10K a month. And it's true. People will tell you online, like that's the, you know, that's like the best you'll feel, right? Happiest you'll feel. And I agree, 10, 20K a month, because it's the first money you've ever touched. You feel richer than ever. And, you know, that wears off quickly. You want to make more and more and more. But that's really when you'll feel the most joyful about business. I had my first 10K months, and that was absolutely ridiculous. July and August were the first 2 months before football season. That's why September, October, November, December are my income skyrocketed. September NFL season started. I made $50,000. As you can see, these are just some wires from one of the apps we promote, Underdog. Like I said, later in the presentation, I'll break down exactly how we get paid from these apps. But basically, we get paid from apps, affiliate marketing, sports betting apps. That's basically the business. You know, we promote these apps and they pay ridiculous margins. That's how I'm able to get $50,000 commission checks at 18 years old. So these are a month behind because like you get paid for January and February, stuff like that. But yeah, September, I made $50,000 total from Underdog. That was 35 of it, as you can see right here. So 35K of the 50K was from Underdog. Then October, I made 75K. 27 of that was from Underdog. The other 50 was from other apps. And then my big months, November and December, when, you know, because my content just kept getting better and better. I was getting more and more followers. I was monetizing my page better. I was learning more skills. I was making more and more money every month. So November, 90K. As you can see right here, December, $47,000 from Underdog. And then December, I made 150K. And these are profit numbers, by the way. This business, barely any override, which is amazing. This is all profit. I don't run ads. My page is completely organic. Now that I'm bigger, I will do sponsored posts occasionally, but my page is 100% built on organic followers, and everyone in my program is as well. But this is when things got insane. I mean, but, you know, if you're making 100K a month, life's going to feel insane. But the paradoxical thing about this time in my life is this actually went to the worst time in my life because I went through a bad breakup. I'm not going to go through all this on here, but obviously for you guys who have experienced breakups, you know it's hard. That is when I moved to Miami. Because when I moved to Miami, like she was the only one holding me back to my hometown, right? So when that ended, I was making 150K a month in my mom's basement. I was out of there, moved to Miami, bought my McLaren, all that. But from now on, we're going to get into the actual business. So how to build an actual sports content business so you can get commission checks like this. These are 3 keys to success. And like I said, these are things that can help you in anything, sports content, any business you start, life. If you're not an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. These are the 3 things you need to know. Everything I know is literally in these 3 points when it comes to getting successful in anything. Speed, self-discipline, and belief. Speed is key. You hear this all the time, but you don't take it seriously. The more you get done every single day, the more you're going to get done in a week, the more you're going to get done in a month, and the quicker you're going to be able to progress through life. And when you understand how important momentum is when it comes to getting rich, especially, then you'll understand that you're going to want to wake up and get as many important things done every single day, because that's going to push you farther to your goal. That's true in this business, and that's true in everything. You're going to outwork competition by default, and you're going to compound your success. Self-discipline. If you don't have any self-discipline, you're not going to get anywhere. This can be built. If you're not disciplined right now, it's fine. You can build this through, repetition, becoming more disciplined every day. But it doesn't matter if you're just talking about sports like this business, which seems like easy, which it is to a degree, or if you're literally in a coal mine. You're going to need discipline. There's going to be work you're not going to want to do every single day, and you're going to have to do it. If not, people who do the work that they don't want to do are going to be better than you in pretty much every aspect of life. So speed is important, self-discipline is important, and then belief. You have to be delusional at the start if you want to become rich. It's not, and if you're here, you probably already have that sort of belief, right? You're looking at a business that you've never done before, and you're confident that you can start this or something similar where you can scale to 10, 20, 30K a month. That's delusional if you've never done it before, but that's good. That's what's got me here today. That's what's got every successful person from zero to wherever they're at now. Because if you're never delusional at the start, you're never going to believe in yourself enough to hype yourself up enough to start the business and actually scale it. The reason being delusional is so important is because you are your only, you're your only cheerleader, right? Nobody else really cares about you that much, especially when it comes to getting rich. Like, yes, your parents do, maybe like one or two close friends. Everybody else, they rather see you fail than succeed. You're going to go through hard times, especially if you're doing, things that are public. You're going to get hated on. You're going to get joked. Like, people are going to make fun of you, right? And if you're not there to believe in yourself and hype yourself up during trials and tribulations, especially as an entrepreneur, you are never going to be successful. So you need to do things fast. You need to become more self-disciplined, and you need to believe in yourself. Next, we're going to get into some testimonials and then break down how this business works. My guy, Ryan, basically the reason I'm showing this, I'm not the only one who's got rich from this. I've taught plenty of other guys how to start and scale this business. It's 100% replicatable. Ryan, with only 11,000 followers in his first year, made $75,000 profit and bought his dream car. Guys, he was doing this while in college. So he was working 1 to 2 hours a day, making a video 1 to 2 hours a day. He was able to make 75 grand, buy his dream AMG right here, beautiful car, and now he's making like 30K a month. So this is just an example. You don't need a huge time investment to do this business. It doesn't matter what excuses you have. He did this while juggling a college education and having a job. So he doesn't have that job anymore, luckily, but it doesn't matter what you have in your life. If you can carve out 1 to 2 hours a day, you're going to be able to make this thing work. So my goal for today, like I was saying, teach you everything I've learned in my 3 years of creating sports content that produced me millions of dollars, show you why this is a golden opportunity, and prove to you why you can make thousands if you are willing to work for it. So only thing that I ask, like I said, pay attention, blah, 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 lock in, take some notes if you need to, and I promise you this will not be a waste of your time. So you're probably asking, what is sports content? You may have seen my Instagram page, but you don't understand how the business actually works. Viral sports videos, this is the most dumbed way down I can explain it. Viral sports videos to building a following to monetizing with affiliate deals and digital products. It's mainly affiliate deals, right? So you have your content at the top of whatever you want to call it. You can call it a funnel. At the top of the funnel, every single time you post a video, it doesn't matter what, business it is when it comes to social media, but specifically with sports content, every time you post a video, that's going to get pushed to people. The better your video is, it's going to get pushed to more and more people. And the more people that see your video, the more people are going to follow you, the more people are going to engage with your content, which is going to push it out to more people. And most importantly, the more people are going to either buy your service or sign up with, in our case, your affiliate link, which is going to make you money. So the top of everything, the most important thing in this business is content, because when it comes to affiliate marketing, it doesn't matter, if you have the best affiliate deal ever, if nobody's seeing your content, nobody's seeing your videos, nobody's actually seeing your affiliate links, you're not going to make any money, right? So top viral sports videos, build a following, and then you monetize it. The reason this is the best business in 2026 now, not 2025, is because it's the only business with 1,000% margins. So the reason I say 1,000%, yes, 1,000%, not 100%, is because, for example, when I get paid from Underdog, I was just showing you guys those payment slips, right? If we get a $10 deposit on Underdog with my code, right? My code's FF Rocket. Somebody signs up with my code, deposits $10. Underdog will pay me $100 each, 10 times the amount of the sale. That's why this business is ridiculous. They think that those people will spend more on their app, so they're willing to pay the creator $100. Some apps it's 75, some apps it's 120. Around 100 is the average price. So only business in the world you can get 10x margins. Where else can you sell a $10 product and get a $100 commission? You can't. The industry is booming and going viral is easy. This is what I've been mastering, guys, the last 3 years, how to create viral sports content. Here's some examples. As you can see, if you guys know anything about sports betting, the business is absolutely huge. They had a record 13.71 billion evaluation in 2024. That's like the whole industry. 2023 was only 11 billion. So it went up almost 20% in 1 year. Now it's even higher in 2026. This is an example of one app we get paid from, Chalkboard, just how much you can make. These $100 payments are instantly getting added to my wallet, and these are all from the same day. As you can see, April 26, April 26. You can make thousands of dollars on one app when we promote multiple apps, just from one video, if you're using the right content systems. Why it's easy to start. You only need 1 to 2 hours a day. We post one video a day. I'm already done with work for a day. It's 4 p.m. my time. All I had to do is post a video. Yes, there's always more you can do, but what it really comes down to is posting one really good video a day. Certain seasons we'll post a little bit more, but one video right now in NFL, when we're making the most money, one video a day will get the job done. If you do that, it's going to go out to thousands and thousands of people. You don't have to do anything for the rest of the day, and you're just going to collect your money from your affiliate deals, right? You don't need to be a sports fan. I know this is a common misconception. Maybe you guys are sports fans, cool, but it honestly isn't really going to help you. You don't need to be at all. With AI now, with different scripting websites we use, you can get your content from, like I said, these different websites, right? Basically, whenever I'm making a video, it's very rare that it's off the top of my head. The research is all laid out for us. We have different platforms that we use to get, the stuff we talk about in videos. So we have guys in Sports Creator Academy that know literally nothing about sports, and they're still killing it because they're just reading off a script. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't need to be a big sports fan. You don't need to sit on your couch and watch sports every night for research or anything. Almost $0 in expenses. Guys, I run a $70,000 to $100,000 a month profit business, and my override is literally less than $200. And if you're a smaller page when you're starting, it's going to be less than 30 to 40 bucks a month. It is extremely cheap. You pay for Canva, where we make our thumbnails, CapCut to edit our videos, and that's literally it. And there's no competition. The reason I can prove to you there's no competition is because you've never heard of this before until, you met me. So seasons, this is what content we post in each season. September to February, we post NFL picks. This is when we make the most money. We make money all year round. I'm going to break down in a second. Don't get me wrong. But the cash cow is NFL season. We have 1 month left of NFL season, the playoffs, biggest months of the year to make money. So that is what we do from September to February. That's when the Super Bowl is. March to June, we post NBA picks. NBA is still a great moneymaker. Basketball, obviously, it isn't as lucrative as NFL. NFL is king, but we still make a bunch of money during NBA from March to June. And then June to September, we post fantasy content. Fantasy content is how I grew from 0 to 165K followers. You give fantasy football advice. Basically, people will follow you because you're giving value, and fantasy football is the exact same thing as the DFS sports apps we promote. You're betting on players in fantasy football, for you guys who play. If you don't understand it, it's fine, but you're betting on players to do well, and then when you get on the apps, Underdog, Prize Picks, the apps we promote, you're betting on players just with real money. Super easy transition. There's a reason that you see these pages that say fantasy football, whatever. They either learned from me or they copied me, because it's a great way to build a huge audience and then monetize that audience, just like I did to make 750K in my first year. Important things to know. This isn't too important, but volume is key. You got to post a lot. Like I said, I posted 4 videos a day. Right now in NFL season, we only post 1 video a day, but in some seasons, we'll post a little bit more. You got to know why you're posting, which is another thing we teach in our program. You need to know what customers you're trying to attract. what people will this actually go out to, and all these things go into making viral content, right? And you need to post as much as possible. Like, imperfect action wins. And the reason I put this on here is because it's not just about sports content, it's about anything. It doesn't matter what it is. There's never a perfect time to start. There's never a perfect time to do this, whatever. Action wins. This world, this universe, money, it rewards people who take action, not intelligent people. If you're constantly overthinking, if you're constantly over evaluating, should I start this business? Should I start this business? When there's an opportunity right in front of you, you're going to get left behind from the guy who might be half as smart as you that took action on an opportunity. So those are just a few important things to know. What makes a video good in super simple terms? Script, clean editing, and hooks, all things we teach, obviously. But there's a lot more that goes into a social media post that actually gets hundreds of thousands of views, like mine consistently do, than you would think. It's not just, you watch a video and you copy it the best you can. Every second matters. And even though that may sound intimidating, it can very well be learned to your advantage. And it is to your advantage, because if you understand these skills over other people, you're going to make all the money and you're going to get all the views, right? But basically, you need a good script, you need to become a really good editor, and you need to have good hooks. That's pretty much it. And like I said, those are all things that can be learned. I learned from scratch, damn near on my own. So if you have somebody teaching you, it won't be that hard. Next, monetizing. This is how the business actually works. We monetize through affiliate deals, and then we also sell VIP picks, which you don't have to do. So basically, if you join Sports Creator Academy, which we'll go over later, we get you 3 to 4 high-paying CPAs instantly. Underdog, we get you Chalkboard, we get you Wanna Parlay, and then we also get you Onyx. These are all apps that have paid me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Underdog, my biggest one, has paid me over $1 million, and you can get them instantly by being in the program because I have connects, right? That isn't overly important. You can get these apps on your own, but it's basically just a fast track because, why would an app work with a creator that has 10 followers when they're $1 billion company? They wouldn't. I didn't get my first deals till I had 30, 40,000 followers. But now, if you have some hookups, which can be me, then, you can get deals right out the get-go, getting $100 CPA day one. So this is basically how it works. This isn't important. On Winnable, we post VIP picks. I'll show you guys screenshots in a few minutes here of how much I've made off that. Monthly reoccurring revenue on top of our affiliate deals just adds, a little extra money to the fire. These are my socials right here, just to show you guys, how many followers I've accumulated. I actually have 165K, like I said, on my Instagram now, another 20K on my second page where I post other sports, 50K on my TikTok, 30K on Facebook. And then also, if I go back one here, got Mr. Beast on the screen. You guys know I have 20K on my personal. And the reason I even started posting on my personal page was to show the guys in my group that these content systems that I teach work in, every single niche of social media. You guys probably found out about me recently. I haven't been posting for that long, and I have 20,000 followers. I'm going to hit 100K this year. And the reason I'm doing that is to show you guys that, or the people in my program, that these content systems, when you take these principles that I teach, they will work, they will build you a following, and they will make you rich inevitably. So clearly, I know what I'm doing with social media. Don't think I needed to prove that, but those are just my socials right there. Why is social media powerful? There's free marketing for the first time in human history, and it's an even playing field. If you went back 50 years, there's no such thing as an 18-year-old getting rich by clicking buttons. Buttons didn't exist. Maybe buttons did, but screens didn't, right? So Mr. Beast, just an obvious example. Guy's a billionaire from making stupid videos, right? So free marketing. You can compete with Coca-Cola, Amazon. You can compete with anything by simply making better content. You guys have seen it on TikTok. These kids, right, who make edits clearly make way better content than these companies' TikToks. For an example, you can outcompete a $1 billion corporation and take their sales just by, knowing what you're doing with editing. So it made it an even playing field because it's not paid advertising, it's free. So whoever makes the best content is going to make the most money. And this is important. Viral versus a real business. The reason I showed Mr. Beast, even though Mr. Beast makes a ridiculous amount of money, right? His is obviously lucrative. But if we look at this Cats page, I don't know this page. I found it on TikTok. It's a little bit of a stray to show this page right here. But Cats, right? 52,000 followers. This page does not make $1. Look at this cat. Like, there's a difference from getting views and having a real business, right? That's why I said earlier in this presentation, you need to know why you're making content. And social media is super powerful. Sports content is the best vehicle to use social media with. It's going to make you the most money per follower. That's why I do it. If there was another business that made more, I would do that. But sports content is clearly the one that makes you the most money and rewards you the most financially if you're good at social media. If you took these principles and made cat videos, yeah, you might have 50,000 followers, but you're not making a dollar. And my guy, Fantasy Football Sav, Chad, with 20,000 followers, is making 50, 70K a month with half your followers, right? So viral and an actual business is different. This is how to build an actual real business with social media. You have to give value. I give value on my personal page. You watch, that's why you follow me. I tell you guys about business. I'm giving you guys value right now. I constantly am giving out things I know. If you don't give value to someone, why would you ever, let alone spend money with them, but why would you ever even watch their content, right? Or follow them? You wouldn't. And that's step one in this business to get people to join your affiliate link, buy your service. They have to follow you. They have to see your content. If you go to the coffee shop, you give the coffee shop money, they give you a coffee. Would you give the coffee shop money if they didn't give you a coffee? No. And I know it's this dumbest example ever, but it's completely true. And it's the same thing with social media. Content goes to views and followers, building your reach, which turns into leads, people who are interested in signing up for your stuff. And that leads into sales, AKA signing up for your apps, you getting tens of $100, commissions every single day, adding up to thousands of dollars a day. So that's how you build a real business. You need to build your audience. You need to pick it and how to give value. You need to pick a niche, become an expert in it, and post content solving problems within that niche. This is why we post fantasy football content to build our following. It's because when we do this, right, post fantasy football content, we are solving a problem for fantasy football players. Damn near everybody in America plays fantasy football. They want help to win their league, to beat their friends, so they're going to follow an expert. And now that we have them in the door, they're going to see all our promotions where we have chances to make money. Next, making money. How do you get paid? You select your product. This is general business advice. For us, it's our affiliate link. And then you put in systems and funnels in place to attract leads. So my Instagram, you may see I have a little funnel right here. It says, DM me the football emoji to join a free $100 league. Basically, this is just an example how this works. Someone sends me a message. My ManyChat bot automatically sends them a DM where, it gives them instructions to join VIP for free or to join a free $100 fantasy league. And those instructions are to sign up for one of my apps and deposit $10. So if someone wants something, they spend $10 deposit on an app, I get $100 and they get what they want. So this is an example of a funnel, a way you can take advantage of basically, making money with these apps. When you have something that has 1,000% margins, there are plenty of ways to make money with it. This funnel right here with the free $100 fantasy league is how I got my first 10K months. Basically, I'll break this down quick so you guys can understand it. In a fantasy football league, there's 12 people. I would host one, right? It's me and 11 other slots. I would post, hey guys, shoot me this message if you want to join a fantasy league. They'd say, hey, I want to join. I'd say, okay, deposit $10 on one of these apps with my code and you're in. So they only spend $10. I get $100 from the app. Now they're in the league. So if I do that 11 times, I just made $1,100 and I only have to pay out $100 to the winner. So I'm making $1,000 profit on a league. I filled up 10 of those and it wasn't even football season and I was already hitting 10K months in my first year. So that's an example of a funnel we'll use, to make a ton of money. Recap, valuable content goes into your followers and brand building, goes into your funnel, goes into your product offer and sales. Basically, content is at the top of the ladder every single time. And if you make good content, make sure everything else is optimized, which I can teach you, then money will flow to you at the end. But everything comes from content. It's the most important thing. Doesn't matter if you have the best service product in the world in any niche. If nobody knows about it, nobody knows about your marketing, they don't see it, you're not going to make any money. What makes a business good? High profitability, zero to low startup costs, long-term value, and great margins. A lot of these businesses you see online, right? TikTok shop, drop shipping, they're not good. You might make money today, but you're not building anything. You're not building a brand, right? In this, you're building a brand. TikTok shop. You could make a lot of money from affiliate, but if TikTok Shop, not even if it ever stopped, but if your videos aren't doing well, like you don't have a brand. People are just buying from your affiliate link. People don't know your face. People don't know your voice. People don't know your brand, right? You're not building an audience. You're just getting quick commission checks. Drop shipping. You don't own the company. You don't own anything. All people do in drop shipping is they run ads on Facebook and they hope people buy with their affiliate link and they make the profit, right? But, as soon as that dies down, they don't have anything. Us, while we're making this affiliate money, while we're doing all these things, we're also building a brand. I have hundreds of thousands of followers. It doesn't matter if all these apps evaporated tomorrow. I'm going to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month promoting anything because we're building an audience, which is going to last you years and years and years. So it's extremely valuable. Profitability and startup costs go together. 1,000% margins and no override. There's no business on the planet. I will pay you if you find one that has better, margins than sports content. Like I said, not drop shipping, not ecom, not Amazon FBA, none of that crap. This is a golden opportunity, guys. Anything with social media, any digital product is better than a brick and mortar shop. And this sports content is the best business to start when it comes to, doing it through social media, online business, like you hear a billion times. This is number one. No inventory, no shipping, no customer service, none of that. And if you're wondering how much time you need to run this business, barely any. 2 to 3 hours a day max. I could have said 1 to 2 hours because like I said, all you need to do is post one video. Are there other things we do to promote and a few other little things to keep the business, keep leads coming in, keep it going? Yes. But all you have to do, like I could make 80% of the money I make by just taking 1 hour a day and posting one video and let everything else go by its own. I'm a hustler and a workaholic, so I'm going to do more to make that 20% more money. But all you have to do is post one video a day. And like I said, rack in the affiliate money. Next. I'm breaking down exactly with some graphics how you get paid from these apps. I already went over this. But so Underdog, PrizePicks, Chalkboard, these are apps I promote, everybody in my program promotes. If somebody deposits $5 to $10 with your promo code, the app will pay you $75 to $120 CPA. CPA means cost per acquisition. Basically, every one person that signs up spends $10. You get 75 to 120. Like I showed you guys earlier, 1 day earnings on Chalkboard. And this isn't including the other apps we promote. We promote multiple apps at a time, multiple apps in a video. So if I made whatever, $1,500 here, or what is it, $3,700 to $4,500. Yeah, if I made like $800 here in 1 day, and this isn't even showing all of them, the screenshot from one app, I promoted 4 apps. So I probably made $3,000, $3,200, right? And then these are just some Underdog commissions. These are just showing you, you're promoting multiple apps at once and making a ton of money. Chad Slavinsky, 1,000 followers in his first 33 days. He has been a killer. He made $70,000 in December in his first year, and there's a reason for that. 1.2 million views. Actually, we'll go over this math in a second. I want to pull over his Instagram for you guys so we can go over this. This is Fantasy Football Sav, and ironically, he had a video pop off literally last week. So if we go to this video right here, let me find it right here. See this video? 1.6 million views. I know it's a little small, but 1.6 million views. He had, what does this have? How many likes? 35,847 likes. So if we are making, right, like just do this math in your head. If we are making, let's call it for easy math, $100, right? Just like this, $100 every single person that signs up. And he got 1.2 million views in a video with picks where we promoted all the codes. How many signups do you think he got? He easily, well, I know for a fact the last time he had a video pop up, this is exactly how much he made. He got 400 signups from 1.2 million views. 400 may not sound like a lot, but when you realize you make $100 from every one, he just made $40,000 from one video. 1.2 million views. That one he just posted did 1.6 million views. He probably made $50,000 from that video. So 50K from a video, and I wanted to use someone else as an example, so it's not just me, right? This is a guy who started in my program. Now he's making 70K a month. He made 50K in one video, guys. And the best part about it is you can post every single day. I post 2 times a day sometimes. So you have an ecosystem, not just on Instagram, but also on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, of all these views coming in that all have a lottery ticket's chance of making you $50,000 all at once. But when you accumulate it, you're making thousands of dollars a day. And that is why I've been able to live the life I live from this business. It's ridiculously profitable. But yeah, $50,000, $40,000 from one video, absolutely ridiculous. Where else can you do an hour of work and make 40K? I don't know. If you know, please let me know. Other revenue streams, VIP subscription. I made 240K last year just from selling picks. This isn't even the affiliate deals I'm talking about, just my exclusive picks. I'll post those. I post a link if people want to buy those, 75 bucks a week, 150 bucks a month. And I post my exclusive picks, which I do research on. People pay those. I made 240K in a year. This is more than doctors make. And this is 10%, 20% of my income, guys. Like this VIP researching the picks and posting the picks takes me 10, 15 minutes a day. And it made me 250K last year. So when it comes to the time for money exchange, there really isn't anything better on the market. Mentally, this is what it'll take. You have to be willing to take action. You're going to have to post every single day, obviously. If you don't post one day, it's not a big deal, but consistency is important when it comes to, content and building an audience. Willing to fail and willing to persevere. I know that may sound a little bit corny, but it's tough as a content creator when you look at someone's video who got 1 million views and your video gets 1,000 views, right? But you gotta stay at it, because if you keep using the content systems that you've learned, if you keep learning, how to make better videos, how to edit better, eventually it'll be your time where your videos pop off. So you can't get discouraged. A lot of content creators get discouraged, but it's important that you understand that it doesn't matter what other people are doing. Focus on yourself, and if you follow the steps given, then I promise you will be successful with this business. Next, consistency. Consistency isn't only just important in terms of building a better life for yourself, but literally, like mathematically, in the algorithm and Instagram and TikTok, they do reward consistency. So you actually need to be consistent. But like I said, it takes 1 to 2 hours a day. If you can carve out 1 to 2 hours a day for a business that can get you to 50 to 100K a month, which is a pretty good trade-off, then it shouldn't be an issue. Law of attraction. This has nothing to do with the sports content business, but this is one of the biggest things that changed my life, because it doesn't matter how hard you're working at something. If your mindset is wrong, you are never going to attract success. This is the law of attraction in a nutshell. If you guys want to see it more in depth, I've posted probably 20 YouTube videos going over this and how it changed my life. But basically, this is the loop. Thoughts go to actions, which go to your reality. Basically, everything stems from your thoughts. So every single thing you think about becomes true. What you think about influences what you do. Those are your actions, and what you do influences your reality. And it repeats. The place most people go wrong, why people always mess up, is because when it comes to the reality portion, which is right now, your reality. If you have a bad job, if you just crashed your car, if your life sucks, if you're going on social media, seeing kids like me flexing on you, your life isn't going to be that good. You want to make a change, but you have negative thoughts through the comparison, you feeling bad about yourself. And when you have negative thoughts, you have negative actions. You're going to feel bad about yourself. You're not going to want to work hard. You're going to order in junk food and just sulk in sorrow. People like feeling sad. So if you never fix this loop, if you never fix your thoughts, then you're never going to become successful. And the funny thing about, the law of attraction, vibration, manifestation, is that people like to do it the lazy way, which doesn't work. You can't just think positively for 10 seconds and write down on, a piece of paper how great you are 10 times. That won't do anything. That's complete BS. I'm not one of those guys that believe that. What does work is when you actually pair positive thoughts with work. Because the only way you're going to feel good about yourself, guys, is if you work hard. It doesn't matter, what it is. It doesn't matter what you're manifesting. If you're still a loser and deep inside you're a loser, you're going to have negative thoughts and you're never going to attract success. If you get up and work every day, this is all I talk about in my content. If you get up and work, you go to the gym, you don't want to go to the gym, you go anyway. You make that video, you didn't want to do it, you do it anyway. You do all the things you're supposed to do. At the end of the day, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel proud of yourself. And when you feel proud, you feel good about yourself, guess what? You have positive thoughts. And when you have positive thoughts, you're starting to build momentum. You'll have positive actions and your reality will get better. You will attract success. So momentum is extremely important, but you need to break the cycle of where you're at now if you want to change things. And I got a feeling if you're in this call, you want to change your life financially. You need to have better thought quality. And the only way you're going to do that is if you are constantly working on yourself. Because if you're constantly putting in the work, building a business, you're going to feel great and you're going to attract success extremely quickly. That's what I did, guys. That's how I got from 0 to 100K a month in 9 months. because I was finally, for the first time in my life, going after something, starting a business. And when I was posting those videos every day, I felt so good about myself. I was in such a high vibrational state that I was able to attract so much success quickly because I was just like an energy bubble. Like I was so happy. People would say that. Like I was so excited all the time because I was finally building something that I've always wanted to do. And for you guys who haven't started a business or done any of that, hopefully this can be that opportunity. Another important thing about the law of attraction. You have to be now. It's a little bit paradoxical, but the reason I put McGregor and Floyd Mayweather here is because fighters talk about this a lot. Everybody who's successful does it, whether they realize it or not. But fighters, they've talked about this. The reason, Conor McGregor is cocky is because he believes he's the best, right? He was saying he was going to be the double champ before he was the champ. Floyd Mayweather, also extremely arrogant, if you want to call it that, but he's 50-0. He's the greatest boxer of all time, debatably. So the reason they became the greatest boxer ever, and the most known, probably, combat sport athlete ever with Conor McGregor is because they believed in themselves before it happened. You need to act like the person you want to become. Right now, what would your routine be if you had 200K in your bank account, Ferrari outside, living in a mansion? You'd probably wake up excited, get your work done. You'd be nicer to people. You'd be more charismatic. You would dress differently. You would move differently, and you would think differently about yourself completely. That's the most important part. So the only way you're going to get on, the same vibrational plane as what you want is if you act like that person now. So wake up tomorrow. Do it tonight, honestly, but wake up tomorrow and act like you had $1 million in the bank. Act like you've achieved everything you've wanted. And if you move on that frequency, I promise you will get it. If you don't believe in any of this stuff, it doesn't matter, even though it's true. But just based off science, it is 100% true that nothing is moving. Everything is a vibration, right? Everything's vibrating at a certain frequency. So that money you want, that car you want, everything is on a certain frequency. And the only way how are you going to get on the same frequency as something you want? By acting like you already have it. If you genuinely believed you already had these things in the future, then you're on the same frequency. This is how you're able to collapse time. This is how I got a McLaren at 19. This is why I'm in a mansion right now. This has changed my life. So you need to act like the person you want to become, in all realms of life. I could talk about this for an hour. I have, videos on my channel about it, but that's basically what the law of attraction is. Have positive thoughts, build momentum, and you need to act like the person you want to become now. That's why I got rich quick, guys. It's because I was working on my business, feeling good about myself, attracting positive things into my life. I was moving like the person I am now 3 years ago, because that's what I wanted, and now we're here. So let's recap. Content creation, pretty simple when it comes to the business. I can obviously show you the actual know-how of how to do it, like with tutorials, but create consistent, high-quality sports content, post at least 3 to 5 times a week, probably a little bit more than that, but focus on solving problems for sports fans, aka during the season, we're giving out picks so we can promote our affiliate links. Like I said, NBA season, we're doing NBA picks, fantasy season, fantasy football content, and then monetize through our affiliate commissions. Most importantly, getting $75 to $100, guys. If you're getting a few thousand views a video, you're going to be able to get 2 or 3 signups a day. 3 signups a day is $300. That's $10K a month. So once you scale, to actually having a big page, making better content, getting crazy views like me, like Sav, like Ryan, then you're going to be able to make 30, 40, 50, 70, 100K a month from this business. Next, audience building. Build a loyal community of engaged followers. When you're posting content every day, good content with the systems I teach, you're going to be able to build a massive following. Just how I've been able to build, over 250,000 followers. I'm building a following on my personal page now. It's really the thing I'm the best at. And if you do that, you're going to be able to get paid for extremely long amounts of time, guys. Building a brand, building an audience is something that will get you paid for years. It's obviously changed my life, and it can change yours. I promise you, whether it's in this niche, whether it's in another niche, building a audience for whatever business you have or just yourself will pay you dividends. We post our content across all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Focus on engagement rate, and then, email list, blah, blah, blah. So we go from the content to an audience building and then monetization, where we actually get people on these apps, leverage our high paying affiliate deals, getting people on, getting $100 commission, recommend your products, blah, 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 convert followers into revenue through affiliate commissions. That's the number one thing. So there's a lot of big words here, but basically all we do: post content, build an audience, get people on our apps, get paid. Next, goldmine opportunity with sports content creation. The reason this is so good, you guys got to think about the optics of this business. It's not just It's not just, oh, you make a lot of money. I wouldn't love this business if I could make 100K a month, but I was filling out Google spreadsheets every day, right? Like it wouldn't be fun. But you're talking about sports, guys. We're making videos where we get to interact with people, talk about sports, and collect huge checks. Like watching sports is basically my job. Like it's not like you're sitting in an office, typing in Google Excel sheets, listening to a boss. I don't know if I'd take 100K a month for that job, but you get time freedom, you get location freedom, financial freedom. You can be anywhere in the world. We edit videos for our phone from our phone. It doesn't matter if you're in the United States, it doesn't matter if you're in Indonesia, you're making the same amount of money. Next, why it doesn't feel like work. Like I was saying, you're just talking about sports, with people who love sports. You're getting paid from it. And this is honestly the dream when it comes to lifestyle. I wouldn't pick any other business besides the money. It's great you can make more money than every other business, basically. But just based off what you're actually doing, is drop shipping fun? No. Is trading fun? No. Is e-commerce fun? No. It's terrible. It's boring. I've tried all of them. This business is fun to do, genuinely, and you are making more money than all these other businesses. They have way better margins and everything. Would you rather spend 2 hours on your business or 8 hours on a 9 to 5 job? The choice is yours. Here's what you need to hear. I was in your same shoes. I went over this as at the start, guys. I was a high school loser. I'm not calling you guys losers. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're killing it. Maybe you just want to learn another skill. Maybe you're at rock bottom and you really need something to change in your life. Whatever the position is, I was probably in your shoes. I was damn near as low as you could go mentally. Like I said, I'd get home from school, which I hated, where I'd get made fun of. I would lay in my bed and then gamble, lose all my money from my part-time jobs, go to sleep, and get yelled at by my parents. It was brutal. I was a complete beginner and I needed help. And then an opportunity like this is what changed everything for me. So yeah, like I said, most importantly, you need to be humble enough to seek help and invest in yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's this, doesn't matter if it's something else. If you try and figure everything out on your own, you can do it. That's where people will tell you the wrong thing. You can do it, but it'll take you 10 times as long. The reason I was able to get rich in damn near 9 months is because I paid somebody for a service. They taught me how to do it. And because of that, I used all their knowledge on how to do it and what not to do to get me there faster. It's the same thing I do with boxing. I've been boxing for 2 years, but I don't just, hit the heavy bag and watch some YouTube videos. I have a personal coach. Luckily, I can do that because I make a good amount of money, but I pay a coach who is a professional boxer, and I get 5 to 10 times of the value, out of actually working with him that if I was just doing it on my own. Having an expert watching over you, telling you what to do will literally make you learn 10 times faster. This is why you have coaches. This is why you have teachers. This is why you have everything. So now, not to flex on you guys. I think I already do that enough in my content. Top 0.1% income for my age is probably another 0 on there. Supercar, I'm in a mansion in Vegas, 20 years old, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, it's obviously worked for me. It's worked for a lot of other people who are young and ambitious. It can work for you as well. I'm not special at all, guys. I was a normal high school kid, like I said. Only thing I had was a little bit of ambition. A little bit of hope and a little bit of ambition. And because I had that, guys, I was able to use this vehicle to make me rich, and it completely changed my life. But that's really all you need. If you have a little bit of ambition and a little bit of hope, and you actually put that energy towards something, you can get whatever you want out of life if you believe in yourself. I know it's the most cliche advice ever, but it is 100% true. Now, I broke down this golden opportunity for you. You have the understanding of what it takes to, how sports content works and to build a sports content business. There's obviously still a lot more for you to learn. I can't sit on this free live class and literally teach you guys how to make a video. That's what my program's for. I can't go on here and go over every little thing of actually exactly how to do it. I broke down how it works, the opportunity, and if you want to keep going with this opportunity, I have an offer for you. For you guys who have stayed the entire class, I have a community called Sports Creator Academy, which I've mentioned earlier, and this is where Fantasy Football Sav came from. Fantasy Football MI Ryan came from. We have 55 total guys in there, absolutely crushing it. And if you want to join a community, not a course, a community, the reason I like that better is because we all interact with each other, right? We're a dope team. It's like-minded, ambitious people who want each other to win. If you want to join a community where you will learn literally everything about sports content, from me, we have 3 hours of course content in there, every single thing you need to be rich, you can join that. But we're only looking for people who are actually ambitious. Inside Sports Creator Academy, you'll get access to our community. You'll get access to Masterclass, which is basically my courses, 3 hours of video courses breaking down exactly how to do everything. to build and scale a sports content business. Weekly calls and one-on-one access to me, my personal phone number, and you will get high-paying affiliate deals instantly. Community, as you can see, my guy Ryan flexing, he made 5K in 6 days. You get access to the community where basically everybody interacts with each other. I send out updates and other people help each other out, whether it's a certain video type that's working, a new update with an app, anything that's working for them, so that spread it with the community. This is why I built this, right? Having a group of like-minded individuals is extremely efficient. This is why I moved into a mansion with a bunch of my boys. It's because if you are around people who are competing, not just with each other to a degree, like you competing with your teammate to get that starting spot, right? Like it's healthy competition. It's going to push you farther. And if you're around people who are constantly showing you they're making thousands of dollars a day, you're going to get uncomfortable not making money and you're going to work harder, right? So access to the community masterclass, which is the course, is by far the most important. These 4 courses are the main ones. I'll go over them quick. Content mastery, I go over every single thing you need to build a sports content business. Basically, you could only watch content mastery and you'll know what to do. The other 3 courses are going more in depth on each specific topic. So this photo on the right here is what it looks like in each course. So building a fantasy sports page, we have videos for literally everything: how to set up and grow to 10K followers, how to write the scripts for your videos, the best videos to make, how to edit different types of videos. Every single thing I know about this business is in this, and every single one of these little tabs here has 5 to 10 to 15-minute videos of me breaking it down with write-ups. So I've made this as cookie cutter as possible. There's a reason we have 55 members who are all crushing it. It's because I have made a perfect system, like condensed everything I know into about 2.5, 3 hours. And if you just follow those steps, you will succeed, just like the other guys have. Fantasy football, that's basically during those seasons, the first few months before NFL season, up to summer, up to September, teaching you how I've grown to 150K followers, posting fantasy content, everything you need to know there. NFL season course is how to monetize. Basically every single thing that you need to know about actually getting as many people as possible on these apps. If I've made $1.8 million, about 300K that's from picks. So I've got about 15,000 people on these apps, and that's paid me $1.5 million in commission checks from how to promote in your videos, the funnels you need, how to get people on these apps, all those sorts of things. And then editing course. Obviously, editing may seem a little intimidating. You see my videos and all that stuff, but through this course, I literally have screen recordings of me editing videos. It's extremely step-by-step. Weekly calls, we go over everything together as a team once a week. Hop on a call with me and everyone else in the group. If you guys have any questions, you can ask those. And then if there's anything new, like, a new update to what you should be posting, what you should be doing, a new app deal, anything like that, I go over that on our weekly calls. And the most important thing, obviously, besides, actually learning how to build a sports content business, is partnerships. You get immediate partnerships to these apps right here: Underdog, PrizePicks, Sleeper, and Chalkboard when you join Sports Creator Academy. Underdog is the same app that's paid me over $1 million in my lifetime. They're the best app on the planet when it comes to paying creators and getting people on. It's the best service. It's the best there is. They pay me every single month $50,000 to $70,000 for promoting their app, and you guys get this immediately only if you're in this program. Because, like I said, I didn't get deals to like 30,000 followers, but since I've made this company millions of dollars, I told them about my program. We worked out a deal where basically every single person that comes through my group, because they know that these guys build into really big creators, they get immediate deals. So basically, you're going to be able to get paid day one. And if you guys are making $100 a sign up, if you get deals to these 4 apps, if you guys know 10 people, say you get them on an app each, you're going to be able to make $1,000. If you get one person on 4 apps, that's $400. So day one, we've had guys in the group make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 just by getting people they know on. If you know 20 people, you can make double that. So if you know a few people, you're going to be able to make a few $1,000s in the first couple days. I'll help you get results just like this, guys. Like I said, Ryan, 75K. Bought his dream AMG in his first year. Sav, he made $50,000 off one video this month, the one I showed you guys. So if you want to get results like that, guys, the only difference between them and you is they took action, they stayed consistent, and they were coachable. They seized the opportunity. So why is it the best time to become a sports content creator? I don't know what that little animation was, but yeah, here are some FAQs. how quickly can I see results? I'm going to go over these guys, and then I'll ask like your questions, and I'll go through those. But how quickly can I see results? You can see results, like I said, you can make, a few $1,000s day one. But when it comes to actually building your page, anywhere within the first month. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say I can 100% predict the algorithm. Some people get views on their first video. Some people it takes a month, but I can 100% guarantee that if you stick with the content systems, whether it takes a week, 2 weeks, 3 days, 1 month, you're going to start to build your views and build your audience, and then inevitably make money from promoting your apps. But as long as you're following the content systems, you're going to pop off on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube sooner rather than later. Do you have to be a sports fan to do this? Already went over that. Absolutely not. All the systems we use to actually get research for our videos are completely, AI based or just internet research based. You don't need to watch sports. If you know the difference between a touchdown and a home run, it'll help you, but it really doesn't matter. Do I need a large following to make money? No. Luckily now, how social media is turning, they're basically rewarding followers less and less. It's more about the content. That's why Sav has 35,000 followers and he got 1.6 million views. You don't need to have 200, 300, 400K followers. Yes, it's nice to have more people will see your videos consistently, but it's really about making that perfect video. If you do that, you have a chance, just like Sav did last week, to go to millions of people and make you $40,000 to $50,000 in one day. Can you start with no experience? This one's easy. Absolutely. I did. I have the exact blueprint to teach you guys how to do it. Everybody that started this business started with no experience almost, because sports content is a completely untapped business model. I will help you with all these things, guys. And then I'm opening up 5 spots to directly work with me. So this isn't like, a payment link or anything like that. We still have to see if you guys are good fits to join. But if you're interested in joining and getting our 30-day guarantee, where basically if you don't like Sports Creator Academy, you will get all of your money back. All you have to do is click the link in the chat. My boy John is going to drop it right now, and you're going to be able to book a call with my team. So if you guys are serious, join, book a call with my team. We're going to basically go over everything you need to know about this business more in depth, ask you some questions, see if you're a good fit, see what you want to get out of this community. And if it all works out, then we can work together. So click the link, guys. It's going to go in the chat. John, let me know if you sent that. If not, I can send it and get back to the Zoom meeting here. I think John is going to send it right now. Q&A. All right, I'm going to go, once John sends this real quick in the chat, I'm going to go over your questions, guys. I see that Zach, you sent one, Connor. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, any part of this business you want me to re-go over or anything like that, comment it in the Q&A tab and I will go over it for you guys. Let me text John. 1 second, guys. I'm going to get you guys the link. Okay, yeah, John's sending it in the Q&A channel, guys. And then also, I think he's going to text you guys all the links. So if you're not seeing it here, check your text. Basically, you can book a call with my team member in here, John. He is going to go over, everything you guys need to know. But if you guys have any questions, drop it in the Q&A. I know there was a lot of information as quickly as I could. But yeah. All right, guys, the Calendly link is in the chat right here under Q&A. So if you guys are interested in joining the community, actually changing your life in 2026 and making a ton of money from this business, click that link, guys. You can book for whenever you're free, and we'll see if you are a good fit for the community. Get you making money as early as this month, because it's still football season. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But click that link, guys. Book with a call. Will being under 21, good question, affect any of this? No. I started when I was 17. So the good thing about the apps we promote then, Underdog, PrizePicks, Sleeper, they're technically not sports betting. They're daily fantasy sports. So 18 years old is the age to get on an app. But even if you are below 18, we have guys in the group who are 16, Tyree, he's killing it. I was 17. It doesn't matter, because you're not actually playing on the app. You're just promoting it. You're just being an affiliate. They'll pay you if you're any age, so it doesn't matter. But no, you don't need to be 21. You don't even need to be 18. But what helps us getting people on the apps, obviously, is they only have to be 18. They don't have to be 21. So you could be 14 years old and do this. Until you're 18, you can't actually use the app yourself. But when it comes to, getting affiliate commission from the apps, no, it does not matter how old you are. Let me know if this works, guys, this Calendly link. John, I don't think this link works if you're listening. Yeah, so if you guys want to, you guys can't just click the link. All you have to do is copy and paste the link from John Martin here in the Q&A chat and then put it into a browser. He's going to also text you guys the link all one-on-one if you guys want to book that as well. But yeah, you can just copy and paste the link. It's the one from John Martin right here. It says calendly.com, and then you're going to be able to book a call. But yeah, guys, let me know if you guys have any other questions about the business. I'm happy to answer them. That's pretty much everything I'm going to go over today. I hope to work with some of you guys in the future. Like I said, I'm only interested in looking for 5 more people max for this year. Football season is about to end, but now is a great time because football season, you're going to be able to make some money this year and then build your page, during the off season, make money then, and really have a great following going into next football season as well. BR props. Let's go, bro. Well, content around daily picks as player props not do as well as fantasy since our vids are usually day of. No, BR, we post, that's a good question. We post early. So for the picks videos, yeah, we'll post I'll post the day before for Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. But when it comes to this week, I already have my divisional picks up. So I'll share my screen real quick with you guys and then I'll get to the other questions. I saw you just dropped one. But yeah, so if I share the screen, guys, we'll go to my Instagram right here. This is my personal, but if we go to Fantasy Football Rocket, guys, so divisional round is this weekend. Let me refresh this. And I already have videos up. So BR, we're posting all week long. I just posted this one. That's why it only has 138 likes. I'm actually doing well because I just posted it. But this is the first divisional video right here. And we'll let it grow for an entire week on purpose. So when you have videos like that are growing at that rate, by the time it gets to Sunday, you're gonna make way more money. When I first started, I was posting the day of, but I realized that's completely wrong. All the best creators, we all post a week before, 5 days before, 4 days before. Basically, for an NFL weekend, we're posting every single day, all for those weekends games. So this video already has 1,700 likes. 56,000 views. By the time this gets to Sunday, it's going to have 300,000 views and have probably gotten, 40 or 50 signups. So let me know if that answered your question, bro. But yeah, basically you don't want to post day of, you want to post at least 1 day before. Okay, Connor and Christian asked about NBA. Can you make money with NBA? 100%. I'll show you guys my NBA page. So you can post, you basically have 2 options, which guys do in our group. You can post NBA on your same sports page, or what I recommend doing is you can make a second page. So I started this one recently because I used to do it. I used to do it just on my main page, but I have a separate page, which I have, what do I have? 19,000 followers. Yeah, 18,000 followers here. And on here, I'll post NBA videos, as you can see, every day. If you watch a video, guys, on this page, it's called FF Rocket Bets. It's basically this exact same content, as the NFL videos. And I'll post Jake Joshua. I'll post a video for, a big UFC fight on this page, a big boxing match, something like that. On this page tomorrow, I'll post for the national championship. But yeah, the reason I haven't posted on here since, December 15th is because we don't do NBA until NFL ends, which is perfect timing. So, for example, when's the Super Bowl? Let's call it February 10th. It's one of those days, right? And the NBA finals are, I want to say, at the end of March. So we have a month and a half of NBA and NBA playoffs, which is when people bet on NBA the most, and then the finals. And then after that, we go into fantasy content. So if you're a real hustler and you're really grinding, you can post NBA the entire season and make really good money from it. But for me, and what I recommend to the guys in the group, we only focus on football during football. And then as soon as the Super Bowl is over, we go all in on the NBA for the playoffs and the finals. So yes, you can make good money from NBA. The reason we optimize for NFL is because, unfortunately, if you're an NBA fan, is because NFL is about 3 times the size, as NBA. So NBA will make you money 100%. You can have videos go viral, but NFL is the cash cow, and it's by far the best sport to do this with. And MLB, no, MLB obviously is a big market, so that's a good question. But the reason we don't do MLB, bro, is because what? There's 160 games in the regular season. Nobody really cares, and we're promoting player props, so it's important for guys to know players. People, that's the reason the NBA is the second best sport. Because even though there's 82 games in the regular season, the NBA has stars. People know NBA players. They want to bet on their favorite player to go over. They want to bet on whatever it is, right? They know the players because there's only 15 on a roster. So NBA prop betting has been huge for years. Obviously, NFL is the biggest. But with the timing, the seasons of our content, we have September to February, half the year football season where we're making the most from that. Then we have NBA through, the playoffs and the finals, which as soon as the finals ends, we got 3 months till football again, and we're spamming fantasy content, building our audience for the upcoming football season. So basically, there's no time for MLB, and it won't make you as much money as NBA, not even close to NFL. Will working full time and being in college affect being in your community? No, absolutely not. It's not like you're going to hop on a call with my guy John here and we're going to say, do you have all day to sit at your desk? You don't have to be an incel to join. No, bro, but it's just about if you have the right mindset and making sure it's an actual good fit for you. Ryan, who I showed you guys with the AMG, he literally is a college student at Michigan State and he had a job and he made 75K in his first year. Guys, I post one video a day. It takes me 45 minutes to 1 hour, and that will make you all the money you need. You do not need to work that much in this business, which is great. That's why I'm able to post 5 times a day on my personal page and do other things as well. So it doesn't matter, if you're in college, you are still going to be able to find a way to do, an hour a day. And then once you get that done, you can go to class, do the rest, whatever, party if that's your thing. If I use one of your sign up codes for Underdog, can I just get my friends to sign up with my code and make affiliate commissions off them when I'm getting started? Zach, yeah, that's what I just went over, bro, a few minutes ago. You might have missed it, which is fine. But yeah, we have guys who join and make, a few $1,000s day one because you get $100 each. And we get you 4 immediate partnerships right out the gate: Underdog, Prize Picks, Chalkboard, and Wanna Parlay. So say you get those 4. You don't get them instantly. You have to apply to a Google form. But basically, as soon as the employee, at the app, sees your application, since I have a deal with them, they activate your code. It'll take 2 or 3 days. But as soon as they're active, yes, you can hit up all your friends on Snapchat, all your friends on Instagram, and every single person that deposits $10 will get you 100. I remember when I first started this, I went to a family party when I first got like a lot of deals, and I was hyped. I made like $800 because there were only like 3 of my uncles would sign up, but I think I had 3 apps, and yeah, it'd be like $900. So yeah, $900 because they all got on all 3. I was hyped. So yeah, if you hit up your friends, if you hit up just your parents, you're going to be able to make a couple grand in the first couple days, even if you never post a video, which is great. Uh, Yeah, John, guys, John just posted another link in the chat, guys. All you have to do is copy and paste that link and put it into a browser to book a call with John. And then also he's going to text you guys the link individually as well, so you guys can schedule a meeting. Ben said, when will I know the cost after I get accepted to the program? Yeah, John will go over that all with the call with you. We have a couple different pricing options depending on what you're looking for, but it's different for everybody. And you obviously have to make sure not only do you want to do it, but if you're a good fit. So yeah, all that will go through on the call, and we got a bunch of different options. It is pretty flexible. So just book a call, bro, as soon as you can. You can talk to John. He's going to go over everything. And then, yeah, hopefully we can work together if you guys are ready to go. I'm excited. We still got a good month left. Now is the peak time of NFL season, guys. So if we can get you guys started, you're going to be able to have a chance at getting viral playoff videos, in this final month of football. I want to say the Super Bowl is on the 10th. It might be the 11th this year. So yeah, exactly like 1 month. And, you can make good money this last month. Then we'll go into NBA fantasy, where you'll have a full fantasy season, which is ideal to build your following. And then by the time we get to next NFL, you guys will definitely have a big ass following, and you can monetize all those guys. Appreciate the listen. Yes, sir, Mark. All right, guys. Thanks for this, Nathan. Let's cook. Yes, sir, BR. I will see you inside, Brody. All right, guys. I appreciate all you guys joining. This is the first time doing this. I think it went pretty well. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate it. If you guys have any more questions for some reason you forget or you want to talk to me about specifically, you guys know my DMs are always open. Just hit me up on Nathan Antonucci. So yeah, you can hit me up there. But for you guys who want to join the program, who are interested in it at least, just book a call with my guy John. We'll go over everything. He's also going to text you a link to that individually. So have your email and have your text open so you guys are looking for that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining. And yeah, hopefully some of us can work together soon, get you guys rich from sports content. And I hope all you guys have a good night.